We're here in Knutsford in Cheshire for the latest Times Forum, this time focusing on the Warrington and Cheshire region, an area which is, of course, rich in natural beauty, a very attractive place to live, but also an extremely important business and industrial area, one that has got great strengths, but which perhaps suffers from an image problem in that it doesn't feel that its strengths are properly understood in the rest of the UK and throughout the world. So the discussion today is going to focus on those strengths and see where the future lies.
Cheshire and Warrington is operating in a global market, so we have to have our eyes open to who our competitors are and who our allies are. So again, for me, I see Manchester, Liverpool, the Midlands, not as competitors, but they are our true allies. We have to work closer with those sub-regions, find the things we really do have in common, and then join forces, because the competition now is going to come from the likes of Mumbai, the likes of Shanghai, and the likes of Rio. Can Cheshire and Warrington compete against those powerhouses? No, we can't. But if we join forces with Manchester, Liverpool and the Midlands, can we compete with those powerhouses? Yes, we can. So to me, it's really quite simple. Make strategic alliances with your friends, and then let's really take on that global challenge, which will only increase over the next 10, 20, 30 years.
What I hope that has come across this morning is the real passion and commitment that the people of Cheshire and Warrington have to making our economy really vibrant and growing. We're not complacent, we're really bothered about being future focused, but it's not about talking about things, it's about doing things, and we'll be measured by what we deliver. I think what we've shown this morning is that we have key successes. We are convinced that our plans are the right ones, but what we've got to do is get that message out there and actually make sure that we can continue to build on that success.
Clearly, I think it's been demonstrated in the discussion this morning that the LEP has already been a huge success in terms of attracting inward investment and projecting the image of the Cheshire and Warrington sub-region, both in terms of business, the business community, both nationally and internationally, and continues to build on that. Quite clearly, it's always a place to live and work, and working with our partners and also within the sub-region and our neighbours in Manchester and Liverpool, strengthening those links. I think our wide, diverse business sector, our global players, which have been talked about, whether it be Bentley Motors, the automotive industry, AstraZeneca, Biopharma, and the banking sector. Quite clearly, we do have already a presence, both nationally and internationally. The connectivity of the sub-region and the recent announcements of HS2 are clearly going to make a difference to long-term decision-makings on investment. So I think based on the success so far and the strengths that are clearly being shown in the public-private sector, very much a public sector and private sector partnership, the private sector leading that agenda, I think we really are delivering for the sub-region and will be able to attract the investment that quite rightly should come to this part of the UK.
For the Cheshire and Warrington LEP, skills is one of our key priorities, and it's something I'm particularly passionate about. I believe that for the LEP to achieve its growth, it has to engage with the social economy. I'm actually from the voluntary sector, and it's something that's quite unique about our LEP. We're only one of 2 LEPs that actually have somebody from the voluntary sector involved. So it's really important to have somebody speaking up about skills from the voluntary sector's perspective. Many of my colleagues that sit around the table talk about businesses and the importance of growth within business. But for our sector, what we actually do is nurture people through into the supply chain of individuals coming through to employment. Many of the individuals in Cheshire and Warrington who are disadvantaged and disengaged from learning are actually engaged by the voluntary sector. So what we're actually doing is creating that pathway, the journey into work. I think what the LEP is actually doing by including somebody from the voluntary sector is looking at skills from different levels.
As Chairman of Marketing Cheshire, it is important that we get the message across about the strengths that Cheshire and Warrington have to offer. Not only is it a great place to live, but it's got a very strong financial base, a very strong growth story, and a great positioning between 2 major conurbations of Liverpool and Manchester. So it's got a lot going for it, and we're looking forward to a very successful growth story and growth in practice over the next few years.
Important that it's recognised nationally and internationally, because the area is part of the largest area of manufacturing in the Northwest, and we are very fortunate at this time in automotive to be seeing, as they say, an untapped opportunity for tier 1 companies, and the aim is to try to encourage tier 1 companies to come to the UK. And I think for Cheshire and Warrington, with both Bentley and GM here, it's an ideal location for new companies to come in and supply into those companies.
Cheshire and Warrington Local Enterprise Partnership recognises digital connectivity is important. It's already making investment in this and has set it as a priority for future investment. We've done a lot of work with the telecommunications sector to bring investment into the region and continue to do so. And we'll be looking to upskill businesses and upskill the public in how to best take advantage of those digital services. It's fundamental for growth in Cheshire and Warrington, and it's fundamental that people choose Cheshire and Warrington as a place to live and work, that this technology is there for them and that will actually be an attractor to the region for inward investment.
I think now it's time to deliver. I think the LEP has had 2 years of settling in, of picking its priorities, and we're now entering a period where we can start to see results from that and delivery. I think it's all about business growth, business investment, homegrown business, new business, and I think that's what we've got to focus on. We're doing a lot of research, we can do a lot more now, we can identify where the sites are, the priority employment sites that we need to help investors move along. The Growing Places Fund is a fundamental tool that can help companies who want to do business with their cash flow to help them deliver developments, and that's what Cheshire and Warrington need.
I think the Cheshire and Warrington LEP has created an environment that's conducive to growth for both large, medium and small businesses. It's an environment which allows businesses to engage with the public sector and allows them to navigate through the complexities, helping their businesses grow.
Well, we spent the last hour and a half focusing on Cheshire and Warrington and its potential for growth. We've discovered that it had great strength in depth, manufacturing industry, and real potential for growth. The key issue was, over the next 10 years, can that potential be realised? And I think, if anything, the message of today is yes, it certainly can. So watch this area for the growth and the realisation of tremendous manufacturing potential.